Auto. The word that makes you think about levels that you can beat without clicking a single time. That's true, auto levels are actually what we call free levels in Geometry Dash. You can start playing one and then do whatever you want because the level is automatic, but auto levels are mostly art related, so the purpose is that you look at whatever they have to show. Some of them are very nice actually. After doing nothing and watching the gameplay for about a minute or two, the auto level is completed and you get rewarded with a star. If you're wondering why you get rewards for doing absolutely nothing because the level is free, well, there's a very easy explanation to that. Auto levels are actually hard to beat. Really, auto levels may appear free, but they are actually really difficult to beat. Let me give you an analogy. I can say, for example, that poor people have more money than even the richest bank in the world. Of course, now that I think of it, one poor person doesn't have much money, but very unfortunately, there is no lack of poor people in this world. It's a cycle that goes all the way back to prehistoric times, you know, apes together strong. And that, everybody, is the case with auto levels. When you put them all together, you get 539 automatic Geometry Dash levels, and if you wish to overcome them, you have to go through no less than 16 hours of Geometry Dash gameplay, which sometimes bugs out and prolongs your suffering by a few minutes. I have, however, been determined enough to go through all of these auto levels, and I just want to say I regret it. It all started about a week before this video was released. The idea of surpassing all auto levels had just popped into my head, and when I decide to go for something, I do it, no matter the cost. This is it, boys. This is the beginning of something big. So I began my journey with the very first auto level called Best Automatic Level, released in the first Geometry Dash update 1.0. Back then, auto levels were pretty empty, and the standards were really low. And most importantly, they were bugged 50% of the time. Having a 144Hz monitor, I really had a rocky start. And whenever an auto level was bugged, I had to switch to 60Hz in order to successfully beat it. For the most part, that method worked, but if the level was still bugged, even with 60Hz, that meant it was impossible. For those levels, I used my ultimate strategy, no clip. Yeah, I know that no clip is a hack, but remember how I said I beat all rated auto levels? Right? Well, I would much rather be known as a hacker than as someone who clickbaits people, and I only used it when levels were impossible, so I guess that explains it? Anyways, looking back, the very beginning was the most boring part of the journey, because every single level looked the same, and they all had the same main songs, because custom songs didn't exist yet. I'm only 3 auto levels in, and I have a feeling I'm gonna get tired really soon. For now, I'm still holding strong though, but I don't know how much longer I can keep this up, and there's like 500 levels to go. To top it all off, some of the auto levels weren't even automatic, and you could tell that by the amount of dislikes they had. I don't know who decided to rate these levels as automatic, because there are clearly obstacles in them, but even despite that, I held strong. Initially, I wanted to complete all auto levels in one sitting, so I was intending to stay in front of my computer screen all day if I had to. I had my breakfast while looking at automatic GD levels. I had my lunch while looking at automatic GD levels. The dinner I didn't even have. As I was approaching the 50 auto level completion milestone, I started to realize that this was gonna be my life for the next few days. Currently, I am 50 auto levels in. I'm actually not sure how much longer I can take it anymore. If I want to do this in one sitting, it's gonna take me like 10 to 11 hours, and currently I'm 10% in, so 9 more hours of this. Wait, I just realized I don't have to do this in one sitting. But I was, to put it simply, stubborn. Soon enough, I ventured deep enough into the game to discover levels long forgotten, and things started to get more and more cursed. I'm not sure if it was just me being mentally exhausted from looking at all the shapes I had watched that day, but I was getting hit by waves of flashbacks and abstraction at the same time. You know, when you venture that far into Geometry Dash, you start seeing some weird stuff. What are these names? But I had to go on. I had to finish what I started, and I had to finish it fast. So I sat in front of my PC for additional 2 hours and climbed onto my next milestone, 100 auto levels completed out of 539. After 100 levels and listening to bass after bass for the 22nd time, I'm slowly starting to feel life drift away from me. I think of all this time I've spent looking at the screen today, and I think to myself, I'm gonna have to spend 5 times as much to actually finish the job. I'm a natural born grinder, but this represents a whole new challenge. After beating my 100th auto level, I contemplated upon the entire task for a little while, and I figured that since auto levels don't require clicking, I could do other things while playing the game. But I would still have to be in my room all day and check the game every minute to switch to the next auto level. That discovery made the task I had set myself a tiny bit easier, especially because I got a call from my girlfriend who was at a break in school and wanted to play chess chess with me. So that's what we did. We played a few chess matches and I completed a few dozens of auto levels simultaneously. It was fun to say the least. After she was gone, however, the boredom returned. I had nothing much to do except for browsing the news, which I had already done a few times. So I decided to lay low and try to tank some more auto levels before I'd go insane. But when I was at 200 auto levels, I just couldn't take it anymore. I am on the 200 level, and I think I've had enough of this. No, this is it. I'm stopping right here. No one in the world has any empathy for me because nobody can relate to this. Do you feel empathy? Do you feel any empathy? Yeah, that's what I freaking thought. I can't take this anymore. I just can't. I will not be back until the last auto level is destroyed and eradicated from existence. Come on, go, 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 go! Wait, what the hell? What's that? When I came back home, the only thing I wanted to do was to come closer to my goal of beating all auto levels, so I isolated myself once again and grinded them for 3 hours straight. Nothing much to say about that session, levels weren't as similar anymore, but they were still using default songs. It was monotone enough to make me reach the halfway point, 250 auto levels. I am currently halfway through auto geometry dash levels, and stuff is getting so boring that I started playing chess against myself. Now I always come out on top as the winner. Checkmate. After my grind was done, I went to bed, still thinking about cubes jumping, and I probably even dreamed of that.
Day 2.
The next day was pretty similar. I got up, booted Geometry Dash, started playing auto levels, and did that all morning. My progress towards beating all auto levels was already being shown since they stopped being overly similar. Now I was at the 2.0 update, which brought diversity, animations, cube stories, cube stories, cube stories, cube stories. In order to have some more fun, I called a friend so that he could also marvel upon the wonder that auto levels are. We had some pretty interesting moments. Hello.
Hi.
Your friendly Vietnamese rice cultivator is back. I wonder if my computer is gonna like me recording and streaming at the same time. Yeah, she's doing the moonwalks.
Oh, true. Cubic Jackson.
That's literally me right now. 13 astronauts. I think some guy named Astronaut released a song called 13, and basically people are naming levels after the artist.
Do you remember the classic 9 circles level Astronaut 13?
Yes, why is it named after the artist of the original song?
They didn't notice the dash in between Astronaut and 13.
Yeah, but that's because they already do too much dashing. Prop Top Simulator. I'm making money. No, why is it moving away? Everything's moving away. Where's everything running? Surprisingly, as I was talking to him, the journey went by much faster, despite the levels being longer. An average Geometry Dash animation, which there were a lot of, lasted about 3 to 4 minutes. Even despite that, I managed to reach the 400 auto level milestone and played until there were 100 levels left for me to go. But I did not stop there. I could not bear the thought of waking up another day and remembering that there are auto levels for me to complete. I had to go for it, even if it would take additional few hours of playtime. Truth be told, I knew that the hardest part was behind me, and I only had about 20% of the way left to go. Fortunately, at that time, auto levels actually started to look really good, but I noticed that the better they are, the longer they get. This free sketch level, for example, lasted no less than 15 minutes, which is the building limit for GD levels. But I was actually enjoying what I was going through instead of constantly waiting for it to end. And before I knew it, the end was at hand. Here we go. Only 10 more times will I exit the level. 9 times now. Because these levels, this page, is the last thing we have to go through. For some reason, whenever I'm at the end of the journey, the very conclusion seems the hardest. Like, for example, when I'm walking up a hill, even if there's like 10 minutes to the summit, it feels like it's gonna be an hour. In this case, however, it's the exact opposite. I feel like this is the very last level, even though I have like 8 left. Auto is like my favorite difficulty now, because I've never seen any better levels than auto levels. Yeah, these levels are just amazing. I am at the final 3. These 3 are all that remains. Alright, 2 more. This is it. This is it. I'm at the very end. This better be good. And there we go, only 1 more. I'm actually starting to feel some chills that I've never ever felt before. But now I'm here, this is it, this is the final auto. I mean, it's not really the very final auto because there's gonna be more autos coming out. Actually, what does that mean? Does that mean I'm gonna have to beat an auto every time it comes out to keep my streak of having all of them completed? Well, if I have to sacrifice 2 minutes per week, that's not gonna be a big deal. I mean, I literally just spent 16 hours in 2 days beating all of these, so in that aspect, I have more than plenty of time. This is it. This is actually it. Oh my god. Oh my god, all auto levels completed. Wait, I'm not gonna get an achievement for it? Well, as people say, hard work has its own reward, so I don't need one. I've done all of them. Not a single auto level remains that I have not completed. This is my legacy. And now I cannot wait to go to the community shop and buy my favorite icons. Wait a minute. From all this, I got 0 or